Another LED light bulb failed. Yeah, I'm getting tired of it. So, let's figure this out. We're in my southern location. We're in the kitchen of my southern location. And this kitchen has two light fixtures. Now, I've got the lights turned around there, but I've got that fixture there, and I've got that fixture there. We really like these fixtures, and the LED light bulbs, they keep burning out in them. And we need to fix that. Okay, well, we've got a system problem here. And fortunately, the system only has 3 components. It's got the switch over there, it's got the fixture, and it's got the light bulb itself. So one of these 3 things, is causing a problem. Now I looked at the switch. It's a dimmable switch. It's one of those, goes up and down, and you can adjust the lighting in here. Well, we found out that while that was a great idea when we first put it in, all we do is turn it on and off, so don't need that. That switch is LED ready, and it's dimmable for LED. So the manufacturer says it'll work with LEDs and dim them with no problem at all. The fixture, LED ready. So the manufacturer says that it's good for LEDs. The bulb itself says it's dimmable rated LED. All these things should work. All the manufacturers of these devices say they'll all work together. So what do? I ignored them. I went to YouTube. I found out a couple of things. One, first thing you do is get rid of those switches if your bulbs keep failing. So I'm going to replace that switch. The bulb, I'll show you the problem I have with this particular design of bulb. And then the fixture, I'll show you the problem I have with this fixture. Spoiler alert, I've got another fixture right up here, same exact one. I've already solved the problem for it. And we're going to go through and I'll show you what I did to stop this dead bulb issue, because it's getting annoying. Changing one of these switches out is no big deal. Couldn't tell you how many I've done. Now, the power to the breaker's off, and I've tested it. You flip it, the light right ahead doesn't come on or off, so that's good. It's done. Be nice if this said right on it that it was LED approved, but I don't know if it will or not. And you'd think, you know, all it does is vary the voltage up to the switch or up to the lights. So, how could that be taking out a light bulb? Well, it doesn't take out light bulbs, it takes out LEDs. There we go. No big deal. Hey, nice ground job. It's because none of these outlets are grounded. Hello, 1970 electrical. He also didn't leave me really long pigtails. So, just get in and out of here quick. And move on. Now, I am not an electrician. I am not a licensed electrician. I do not give electrical advice. I don't know which one's line or which one's load, so This is just how I do it. There's plenty of experts, electrical experts on YouTube that can give you the accurate advice on this. I'm just not that guy. But if you're having problems keeping LEDs, bulbs in your fixtures, this is where they say to start. Now, does that say top on top? No, but that says Leviton there. So that should be right. Should be good enough. And if you don't feel comfortable doing this type of work, don't do it. I mean, bottom line, just don't do it. I have done literally hundreds of outlets and switches and I'm sure there's somebody in YouTube land that'll say that I'm doing it wrong or I should have done it their way, and that's nice. I probably should have. And then there's the guys that say, well, you know, you should get yourself an electric screwdriver. Yeah, I've got them. Not using one today, though. Looks like I need to get a little touch-up paint right there. I just remodeled this kitchen last year, and came out okay. Okay, there's step one. But to finish step one, I'm going to run out, flip the breaker, and then come back in and test it. And that way we know for sure we didn't mess something up. Okay, the breaker's back on, and that works. Next thing we need to do is take the light fixture down. So let's turn it off. One thing I learned a long time ago, when you're working over the sink, put a plug in the sink so when you drop something, not if, but when you drop something in it, it doesn't go down the drain. We are directly above the sink. Now again, switch is off, circuit's dead, black's hot. I'm gonna put that right back on there. So the second I let it go, it'll fall. No, it didn't. Got lucky this time. Usually it falls. Okay, let that hang, grab a screwdriver, and get the ground out of here. That's it. That's how hard it is to take one of these off. Here is the light fixture, okay? I mean, it's a light fixture. There's not a lot to a light fixture. But let me show you what the problem is. This is the middle one, and we've not had any problems with the middle one. See the vents around the bulb? That allows heat to get up past the bulb and to cool the electronics. The problem is, and this one, the one that just failed, is the old style that came with the light. There's no vents, and there's barely any room for the air to get around the sides there. To make it worse, this whole thing is solid. Now, it appears that some of the heat could get out there, but it can't. When you touch these, they get hot. And the problem is, LED bulbs are not like old incandescent bulbs. They actually have a power supply in them. Because you got 120 volts AC coming in here, and these things run off DC. So you got to drop the voltage down and rectify it to DC. So it's going to get hot, it gets hot, the electronics get cooked, so bulb failure. So we've replaced the one failure point, which is the switch, which what the switch does is it changes the voltage. It goes from 120, it drops it down to another voltage. I don't know what it is. But voltage and current are inversely proportional. So as the voltage goes down, the current goes up. The more current you use, the more heat you get, and that heat gets trapped right up in here. So we're going to do two things. One, we're going to swap this bulb out for a vented bulb, and then on the back of every single one of these, I'm going to drill a set of holes and let the heat out. But they're all that way. So I think by doing that, that'll make the difference. So I'm in my wife's kitchen because it's raining outside today. So I have to make a decision. The decision is, do I take it out to my shop and freeze in my shop and do it, or do I do it real quickly before my wife gets home in her kitchen? What should I do? Well, I decided to bring the light out to my massive workshop here. Why? Instead of just doing it in the kitchen. It's nice and warm in there. She'd never know. Yeah, she'd know. This is my second marriage. I've managed to make this one last 21 years, and that's why I'm in the shop freezing my butt off, because it's the right thing to do. We're out here in the shop, and there's a couple things we're going to do. One, we're going to replace the offending bulb, which is this guy right here. Of course, you know, the one that's not in the shot. So we're going to replace this guy. Let me flip it over. There we go, that's a little bit better. We're going to replace this bulb, and then we're going to drill out the back of all these. Now, here's the bulb we're going to replace it with. This particular bulb is vented. See the vents on the sides? That way the air can get up around it. Your electronics, it's all up in here. And if you look at this, it's up in here. These things are pointed down. All that heat's going to rise up, and it's going to sit right here, right where all this electronics is. And it just cooks it. So let me get to work, and I'll swap these out and drill the backs. Now, I'm not getting fancy. I mean, I'm literally taking a 1/8 inch drill bit and drilling holes in the backs of these. Well, let's see, I'm going to do that right after I put my glasses on. Do I know how many holes to drill? Nope. Okay, well there's one. Gotta make sure it doesn't get down inside there. But if you look down inside there, there's no place for the air to go. The hot air, it just sits there. And this is like double walled, and I mean it's well built, but if you're a piece of electronics, believe me, this is not some place you want to live. I should deburr those. See the burrs sticking up on them? So I gotta knock those down too. So anyway, let me drill the rest of these out, and then we'll get the bulb installed and get it get the light put back in the kitchen. Okay, for deburring, I just grab a bigger bit and just touch the back of it, and I found that cleans it up. That's good enough. I mean, it's not like we're countersinking rivets on an airplane here. It's here you go. That's not too bad. And I'll go through, clean all the chips and everything out of these guys. But for what we're doing, this will be plenty good. I just didn't want someone else to reach their hand up there and get cut on a chip. Okay, so this is the light bulb, and it's not like an old light bulb. You know, electricity in here, electricity out there, and basically a resistor here that glows when it gets hot. These actually have a little power supply in it. Power supplies being, I'm using that term generously. Now, it's been a very long time since I took electronics, but diodes are DC. You got AC coming in. You got to go from AC to DC. And the voltage is too high. You're not going to put 120 volts DC across this. So you've got a transformer to step the voltage down. You got a rectifier to change it, a full wave bridge rectifier to change it from AC to DC. And all of that is housed right in here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut it open, see what's inside. We'll probably see something. It won't be burned up because rarely do you see that. But I just want to take it apart. You know, I started just cutting on it with the hacksaw, and because I don't have a Dremel, I don't have anything down here. I'm looking around. I don't even have a block of wood to set it on. So bear with me, and I don't know if I can get you where you guys can see it. I doubt it, but we'll cut on it and pry it open, take a look and see what's inside. Do I know where to cut? Nope. Have I ever cut one of these open before? Nope. Do I know how long it's going to take to cut it open? Nope. If it gets too boring, I'll shorten it up. I was watching this channel the other day, and he had a blown engine in a Jeep. Diesel Creek. Fun guy to watch. And I gotta tell you, I watched him tear that whole engine apart just so he could see what was inside it, what broke. Unfortunately, this is not going to be as dramatic. There we go. here we go. Make sure I'm on camera here, because there it is. So if you wanted to see what's inside one of these, there's your power supply. Got a filter cap right there. That's a filter cap. And that's to cut the noise down. That helps with the flicker. There's your step-down transformer. Now I'm guessing at this because, you know, I could be wrong. And right up inside there is the rectifier. I don't know how much of that you're going to be able to see. But that is what is inside one of these little bulbs. And I'm sure there's a voltage regulator in there too. But anyway. So you think it's just a light bulb, but no. There's a whole power supply in there. And when these things get hot, they quit. Anyway. Let me get back to work. And there you go. Simple. Well, not really simple. Not the most scientific. 3 components to the system. I either changed it or modified it. But it's going to work. How do I know it's going to work? Because I already did it on that one. And it's been working now for, I don't know, a week or so. And that's about how long those bulbs used to last. Anyway, it's taken care of. So, what did we learn today? We learned that electronics don't like heat. Yeah, I think I learned that back in the 70s, so really didn't learn it today. Is it the perfect light fixture in here? Nah, it's all dark under here. Did we make progress? Yeah. Yeah. We got a working light fixture.